Now, has this author redeemed himself in the post-apocalyptic genre, or am I about to be disappointed yet again? So today's author is The Witch of Hebron by James Howard Kunstler. Kunstler. It's a bit of a mouthful. Now, given my review of his previous book in this series, my hopes aren't really that high. So there was the big question looming in my head as I was reading this. It was the double prong of what had I been thinking? And is this now just something that I'm responding to rather differently from when I first read it? This book follows on from a few months after the previous book. 11-year-old Jasper, his puppy has been trampled to death by brother Job's horse, so he decides to commit the ultimate revenge and kill the horse, and then he runs away because of the guilt of what he's done. So he teams up with this self-styled bandit called Billy Bones, who is a complete and utter caricature of someone who's he was completely brutal, just wanton killing for the sake of it. And this poor little kid is like, how the hell do I get away from this guy? How do I escape him? And he keeps getting deeper and deeper into this mess. Now, the author has written this lead character Jasper very well, much better than the previous one of Robert Earl, who was quite staid and stolid and a little bit boring. But Jasper's 11, so he's got all those kind of hormones starting to rage through his body and the massive insecurities of being a young kid thrust into I'm getting out of here because I've done something bad and I'm going on a journey. Towards the end of the circular journey, brother Job is out hunting for young Jasper because he knows he's the one who's killed his horse. He wants to bring him back and make him accountable. And of course, he has a burst appendix, and Jasper, being the doctor's son, who's self-taught since the collapse of the world as we know it, Jasper commits I'm going to save you, I'm going to do an emergency appendectomy. I've watched my dad do it a number of times. I really know what to do. And as I was reading this bit of the author building up to brother Job's pain in his stomach, I'm like, of course he's going to have an appendix. Of course this is what's going to happen. I mean, seriously. I did find all of the other characters really contrived, and I didn't feel anything for them. I didn't really like any of them. I thought, you guys should have been knocked out at the first instance of this post-apocalypse world. There's no reason on this earth that you guys should have been the survivors. So the authors tried to bring in, again, a range of disparate characters. Again, all because they needed to do that functionary of creating some kind of emphasis for our lead character to hook into for his hero's journey. So that kind of makes it even more contrived. The one who I thought was kind of sweet and endearing was the hermit, who just wanted to be left alone. And I thought he was kind of well-rounded. And then, of course, there's the brothel of the prostitutes with hearts. I mean, really. To this bit where there's the man trading in the young boy's trafficking ring. And I found this really interesting. It was kind of a throwaway comment. But seriously, that's a big deal. It was just so... yeah. This is where my words struggle again. Mechanical, not necessarily the right word, but you get where I'm going with this. He didn't make anything of a trafficking ring. And of course, yes, in today's era with the whole Epstein thing, it's really now big time. But there has been sex trafficking and child trafficking going on for decades and centuries, and it's always been around. So I kind of felt that the child trafficking thing deserved more than kind of half a chapter. And yeah, the women. Let me get started on that. And there was only one woman who sort of stood out, and she's kind of the titular character, except that she doesn't really appear until the last third. This was a woman who was doing it on her own. She was living on her own. She was surviving. She was quite happily doing it on her own. And it felt like the author needed to go, let's add a little mysticism. Let's make her a witch, because we need to explain why a woman is on her own and surviving beautifully. And that kind of annoyed me. I mean, seriously. Hello? We all know, well, us women know, she's probably way more capable than any of the men. To revisit my previous query of why do post-apocalyptic novels go into wanton violence, anarchy, instead of, peaceful kumbaya living, I still don't have that answer. I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that these books are written by men, and men in America where you have those rights to bear arms. So that kind of lends itself to that thing. So I'm still looking for a book that's going to be engaging, that's set in a post-apocalyptic scenario. This one, not engaging. And Yeah, I haven't been able to answer why I kept it, why it made its way all the way from New Zealand to the UK, and the only explanation I've got is I had a brain fart and yeah, wasn't thinking. I am doing this whole rereading my library, my own personal library, so that I can make that decision as to which one I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to let go. Yeah, and this book is a definite go. Someone might like it. I don't want to, I mean, it's a pretty cover, but really that's not enough to want to buy a book in my estimation nowadays. And I'll see you next time.